Welcome back, everyone, to the EPAN, to the UKV pod. Josh, Drew, talking everything about the Mount State and hoops. And Josh, man, it's been a couple months. Obviously, state champion right there. We're gonna have another state champion join us here later this afternoon. My brother, how you been though, dog?
Man, it's been a minute, man. I'm glad we're finally back. I know we've both been busy with the season ending and everything you've been doing, but we've stayed in touch and I'm happy to be back, man. I'm glad to be here, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it's excusable for you to kind of disperse from me because you had other obligations. Summer season really just ended for you guys in the coaching circuit with your group. And I kind of want to. That's gonna be like my first question for you. We already had an episode basically highlighting the fact that you're a state champion. It was awesome, but now looking forward to next year and kind of recapturing that feeling that you had. Because again, it's like what did Chris Paul say? I need you every day. I can. He never got back. I guess the addiction wasn't strong enough for him. How you gonna make sure that you guys are able to get back and kind of your role within George Washington?
My coach was joking with me as we were walking out of the Coliseum after we won. He was like, first year coaches don't get rings, right? And we were all laughing. So he always told me like, "Man, from my perspective, it was easy." It's like, "Oh, first year we won the championship. This is how we do it," and you forget how, like, fickle that whole process is, so I think it's important, like, he does such a good job, and we do a good job of not looking at that as the goal, we're just like, "Let's win this summer, let's win the weight room, let's win these things," and then if we do all those things right, I think we'll always be in a position to do that.
I mean, yeah, especially because y'all's group again, they were very talented. I would say top three talent within the state. But in a team that you beat in Spring Mills and even Morgantown and University might have had more prolific talent, but you guys had the best player in Noah Lewis. Then you also probably had maybe Noah wasn't or Dom wasn't better than a Quasi, but I mean that was like a kind of them two were right there battling. When you have a guy like that who explodes in the second half to really take a lot of pressure off Noah and actually lead the game in scoring, that's terrific. And I'm excited to announce that we'll be having Dom on later in this show too. Gonna be super excited to talk to a Bill Evans candidate for this year for sure, maybe even a Gatorade Player of the Year candidate. We're really thrilled about him. I know you're especially thrilled about it, but that kind of takes me to my next question for you, though, Josh, is what do you expect out of Dom next year? And you also got another big name guy that's getting some love from the hoop circuit. Kind of go ahead and take a second to explain about those two.
Yeah, so Dom, I think, has done a great job. Well, first of all, Caden Welch has done a great job of taking a leadership point as well. So once Noah left, it's like those two guys have stepped into this leadership role. So whether it's workouts or drills that we're doing in practice, like they're organizing those things. They're getting people to the spot. They're making sure we're doing the little things right. We're coming out of timeouts. Dom saying, "Hey, we should be doing this. Hey, guys, let's lock in with this." So the leadership, Noah sets such a good standard from like player led things. So those guys are
Yeah.
following right. Like it sounds just like Noah's out there still. They're doing the same things, saying the same things. So I just expect them to keep growing with their leadership roles. And really, man, if we play defense, rebound, take care of the ball, and we're disciplined, we're gonna be good to go, man. But I wanted to ask you from an outside perspective, like, what'd you think of the Washington game, Spring Mills game, maybe Morgantown in the tournament? Like, what was your view of all those games from your point of view?
I'll start with the bad first. That Huntington game, I think it was just a bad matchup for you guys because in terms of the talent, you guys are way more talented than them. But with their size and their length and athleticism, I mean, that really pushed you all. And I think you never want to have a tough game like that in a 1-8 matchup. But the fact that you all were pushed like that, I actually think that helped you against Washington, helped you against Spring Mills to be able to win those games because you guys had to play extremely well down crunch time. Because Washington came out on fire against you guys too, and you guys just ended up staying low to get past them. And that Spring Mills game, I mean, it was a master class by Rick Green. And it was also a master class from Noah and Dom. I mean, those two right there. And don't get me wrong, the rest of the role guys, they bought into your role. And that all starts from player led coaching. When you had Noah leading the drills and stuff last year, and how you just said, yeah, hey, it feels like he's still here because those guys are still leading the drills and stuff, and it sounds just like him. And the best teams are the teams that, yeah, you still have the guidance from the coaching staff, but you really are led by your players who are trying to hold each other accountable. If your players can't hold the other players accountable, your coach won't ever be able to do so. So, basically, my overall assessment of how you guys played last year and just how dominant you all were from start to finish. I mean, you guys had maybe two games where you didn't play up to your standard, and one of those was in the tournament. Still found a way to win. So again, shout out to you, shout out to your staff, shout out to Rick Green. I mean, a tremendous, not just a top five coach in high school basketball in the state. I think in the whole country, he's got to be up there, at least in the upper echelon. in terms
Yeah,
of the scout.
he does things differently, man. What do you think the view of the rest of the state viewed us as a talented team top to bottom? Because I think that's what I mean. Those guys, we gotta show Chuck Kelly some love, Matt Mullen some love.
That's like Chuck was
Those
a leader
guys,
teacher
bro,
football.
those guys are different. Like top to bottom talent, you'd be like, I don't know. No, those guys were different breeds of players.
If you just look at the paper, I mean, obviously you have Noah Lewis. Don't get me wrong, but then you had a sophomore in Dom Sprouse, who, again, we knew about him because we've talked about him on and off, but nobody knew about him until really, you get to about January, February last year. You see, dang, this kid's talented, and the growth that he had from December until March, he went from being a player that looked like a deer in the headlights that was extremely talented, could shoot the ball, to somebody that was making plays and was seeing the play 2 steps ahead. Again, I know you're a big guy in player development. You have a lot of those guys on your staff who really pay attention to that. But that's a big credit to you. And again, I want to give a special shout out to Chuck Kelly. Baseball guy, knew he wasn't going to play basketball in college. You know, short dude, got a crazy haircut. But I tell you what, that guy right there was the heartbeat of your team. It wasn't Noah. It wasn't Dom. It was Chuck Kelly. I tell you what, I was extremely impressed with the basically the wherewithal he had to keep the guys together. But you are down 17-5, and that's what I saw him check Noah. I saw him check Don. The two best players on your team. Chuck Kelly went right up to him and held him accountable, and that starts again all from last year with Noah leading those practices. So again, that's my
Yeah,
assessment.
quick stories. There's endless stories of Chuck Kelly, but there was moments in that state championship game or in the tournament, like we're down 17-5 or 20-5. We're in the huddle. Like none of those guys are worried whatsoever. They're looking at
Yeah,
you like, okay, we're good to go. Chuck is swapping a pair of shoes out. He's swapping one of his shoes. His shoes are falling apart. He's been wearing the same shoes. They were falling apart. He's taking one off, swapping it with a JV player, putting it on during the huddle of the state championship game, wearing two different shoes. Like, he's just every team we
it's Chuck
play, they're
Kelly,
like
baby.
every team we play, they're like, "Man, that guy number 11 can't dribble. Take the ball from him." Or, "He's scared to dribble. Take the ball." Well, he doesn't turn the ball over. He just does it his way, man, and it was such a perfect recipe. And then Matt Mullen for us, bro. Matt Mullen will guard the best player of every team, every single game. Nobody even knew about him offensively, but defensively,
Offensively, no,
man,
but his intensity on the defensive end was
bro,
great. Like, that
that's
he
come
set
on,
that
man.
tone too defensively for sure.
Our defense was just that's just the level you have to play at, man. It was great, and that's what's so fun about now because we have a completely different team, but you get to build the style, build the camaraderie with guys. That's the fun part, man. You couldn't ask for a better group, though. Those guys are great, man.
Sure, and I know we only got a couple more minutes before Dom gets on here, but we talked about this last year when you took this role. Your ultimate goal is probably to eventually be a head coach at the high school level, or maybe become assistant at the college level. What's your plan now? Like, is that still the goal for you? Is that what you still, or do you want to be a GW lifer?
No, it's great, man. My goals have changed in the aspect of where I'm just like so focused on where I'm at right now. Lamberti's quote always stuck with me, which I saw him at
Be where your
Midwest
feet
Live too.
are.
I saw him at Midwest Live. We chopped it up for a second. So just the relationships that I've built just in this last year with the coaches and players, man, like I love these guys, bro. These are the best guys. So I'm not looking far ahead, but I'm definitely locked in for a year or two up here, and I can't wait to work with these dudes, bro. I love these guys, man.
And that's honestly what I remember having an interview with, Coach Lamberti, and it was really eye-opening because, again, he might not have been our biggest name or the largest draw that we've had, but a lot of the things that he said in terms of, his age and, taking over probably a top 5 most historic program in Division II basketball, at least, and, all about class and be where your feet are. I mean, it's hard to actually live like that because human nature, we're always gonna look ahead. We're always gonna see, okay, what can happen next? But if you're not celebrating your successes and appreciative of what you currently have, if that gets taken away from you, you wish you still had it. So, hey Josh,
100%.
I swear, bro, it's gonna. I'm so glad we're back. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna try to do. We probably won't be able to do the frequencies we doing last year because I have 2 other podcasts and a
We
live
gotta
show.
talk about that. What have you been doing? What are you about to do? We gotta talk about that, man. What you been doing? What are you trying to do in the future? Like, what have you been up to, bro? What are you trying to
Yeah,
accomplish?
well, right now I'm still cutting hair. I'm still a barber. Right now that's looking like I will be wrapping that career up though in the middle of October. Because I got a gig with the Baltimore Ravens to kind of work as a special Sunday commentator. So I'm really excited about that. Also, I work with West Virginia Live, the voice of college football, sponsored by FanDuel. And I takes up three of my evenings a week. I just had a daughter turn 1. Going to be my
Okay.
5-year wedding anniversary this year. It's just, I'm busy, brother. That's one thing about me is I'll never have time to be bored, which is a good and a bad thing because my wife gets on me sometimes. I get home and dude, I just shut off. Like
Yeah,
I'm put me down, bro. I swear I'll get a shower and knock out. So
yeah.
again, I got a lot of other opportunities. I'm actually tonight, it's dated today is June 28th. I'm hosting this fifth annual Home Team Sports Awards show out in Charlestown, Ranson. So that would be super exciting. Get to highlight some of the EPAC's best, some of the businesses and great people up in this area. Super excited. So I just, I've been blessed, bro, and I'm proud of you, dog, because I know you always be busting your
Likewise,
ass. You we're two different people in how we go about our business, but we both chase our business in the same type way. So again,
for
brother,
sure, bro.
that's me. And I'm just excited. I'm ready to talk to Dom, bro. You ready to bring him on?
Locked in, man. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, hey, ladies and
Let's do
gentlemen,
it.
thanks for watching this first part of the EPAN to UKD. Be right back with the special introduction with Dom Sprouse, player to watch for this coming year, 2028 from George Washington High School. Can't wait to bring him on, guys.
Let's do it.
And welcome back, everyone, to part two of EPAN to UKV. Again, we are back, Josh and Drew, and we got a very special player on here today from George Washington High School, Dom Sprouse, 2028 class. Tell you what, this kid's opportunity to be the Bill Evans Player of the Year and maybe even the Gatorade State Player of the Year as well. Dom, how you doing, my friend? Congratulations on winning the state champions. It's just, sophomore. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm doing great. We just got back from Midwest, went 4-0. Josh was there. So, I mean, it was a great weekend, so I'm feeling great.
Good. I mean, like I said, you guys, I'm hearing that y'all are looking a lot faster than what y'all were last year, getting up and down and running in transition. So that's going to be a little bit different of what we saw from y'all last season. Again, you guys were more methodical, played a lot in the half court set. What's going to be the biggest difference in your game coming into this season compared to your sophomore campaign?
Think the biggest thing is definitely going to be my leadership on the court, defensively and offensively. Last year we had Noah, so obviously he's the leader of the team. We had Chuck, another great leader. So I
Shout
feel
out
like
Chuck.
a big difference this year is going to be just my leadership and how I approach the game.
Yeah, no doubt. And kind of before I give it over to Josh to ask a couple questions to your player, it's and I look at your game and what you did the second half against Spring Mills, and the first part of this episode, I was telling Josh, I said your growth from December to March was crazy because you were a guy that could flat out score and shoot, but you kind of looked like a deer in the headlights early on, and then to see you kind of take over and relieve a lot of that pressure from Noah in the second half to ultimately lead the game in scoring and win that game in double OT. I mean, what was that feeling like? Is that something that you always want to get? Because I know Josh said like he doesn't know he doesn't know how he can lose a game. Like that's just something to him. So how did that win kind of feel to you and your confidence?
Oh, that win felt like the greatest thing of all time. Obviously, us losing in the state championship last year to the same exact team, most of the same players, and then to come in to the championship and win it, especially with how I played really good, and I had a lot of early season struggles just in my own head. My confidence wasn't really there, and then it just built over the season. I got a lot more comfortable, and so that win and just playing good in that game felt really good.
Yeah, no doubt. And Josh, I'll go ahead and let you take over, my friend.
Yeah, let's talk about Midwest Live, boy. What are some coaches you talked to? How do you think you played there? And what is your recruitment status right now?
Yeah, so just to how I played there, I played really good. I was really happy with how I played. I shot really well. I got to give a lot of thanks to my trainer, Coach Johnny Sani. He's trained a lot of my friends, a lot of the guys on the GW team. He got my shot really good this weekend, so everything was just flowing. And he was telling me before we went, I just feel like everything's going to come to you. That's what he told me, and then it did at Midwest. So I felt like I played really good. And I was talking to obviously Lipscomb, a few other schools, Youngstown, West Liberty, and my recruiting right now is going really good. I'm really open to talking to any coach that wants to talk to me, and I'm feeling really happy with just where I'm at in my recruitment status right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think what somebody like Drew or other people wouldn't recognize of your game right now is you've gotten so strong, bro. Like you're so strong now that
I can see it in the
w-
net or pause. Like I
yeah,
tell you what,
yeah.
you look like a little muscle neck right now, dog. What is something that you look at, in my eyes, you're a Division 1 level talent. But I think if you played at the Division 2 level, that actually might be able to help you even gain more opportunities because it's really hard to be a true freshman and go play at a high level D1 university. Noah, as good as he was, I think he's a high level Power 4 guy. He's not even at that level yet. He might eventually get there. Do you often look at some of these D2 programs, maybe like a West Lib, that might be able to help propel you to get a better offer? Is that something maybe you might look at in terms of your college recruiting?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, people always say D2 and D1, there is very small difference in those 2. So I
So
never
I just
look at
that's it.
D1, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the like, if I got the highest offer I got, I'm not just gonna look at that and be like, 'Oh, yeah, I just wanna go there.'" I have to look at the coaching staff, the facilities, the how I get along with the players because I'm a big culture guy. That's why I love GW so much because our culture at GW is so good. We all like each other. We have fun together in practice, games every single day, and that's something I look for. So just because, I have that D1 offers, that D2 could obviously be better for me in a lot of ways. So I'm definitely open to that. And like you said, with the propelling, yeah, if I go to a D2 school, that could definitely propel me to get better offers. So, I mean, no matter what the program is, I'm gonna be open to it.
Nah, I like that, brother. And that speaks a lot about your mentality and character. And I guess this kind of takes me to my next question about, your overall character. If there's one word to describe you as a person, not even just a basketball player, but as a person, what do you think it would be?
I would say humble. I really try to be humble in everything I do. From like because I mean, even from my middle school, we won 3 championships in a row at my middle school, and you know, you have a lot of pressure coming into this season, and we'd had a lot of pressure last season. And whenever you strive like that and you get that championship like we did last season, you just have to remind yourself that you got to stay humble and that I mean, I'm really big into my faith as well. So God help me stay grounded no matter what. So even after we won the state championship, I just try to remember that you got to stay humble. You can't be cocky. You can't think we're already going to win it next season. So that's the kind of the mentality I've had, not just through basketball, but also through my life.
Josh, before I give it back to you, like humility is everything. But my brother, you have not played in a championship game since you were in fifth grade. Just think about that. Like
Hmm.
my brother, I was in my early 20s and I'm pushing 30 now. Like that, you're a winner, dog. I respect your humility. That's what's up. But hey, don't forget who you are for real, Josh.
But yeah, no, I definitely don't forget for sure. I just kind of let my game do the talking whenever I'm on the floor. I don't really have to talk for
I'll
people
do
to
the
know who
yapping
I
for
am.
you, Josh. I'll do the
He
yapping.
doesn't have to talk, like, he doesn't talk directly to other players, but, like, my favorite part of the game is when Dom that moment of every big game when Dom, like, screams as loud as he can.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Thank God he did that because now this is where we're at." Like, I'll wait for every game, like, we're waiting on that psycho Dom to come out, and once he just
Yeah.
lets out a full scream as loud I'm like, "We're locked in now, here we go." That's the part I like the most, bro. He's humble, but when he gets locked in, bro, he lets it out. It's super fun.
Humility is everything. But Josh, go ahead, my buddy.
Yeah, back to the recruiting thing, man, like, as a player, the best thing for you now is that you don't have to worry about, like, if I'm going to play college basketball, if I do this. Now it's just, like, where. So
Hmm.
it takes pressure off you so much now because so
Yeah.
many kids are like, "Man, if I'm gonna do this, if I'm gonna do this." Well, now yours is just basically where, so it takes a lot of pressure off for sure.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And that was a big thing with last year was at the beginning of the season, Coach Green, he'd come up to me, he'd be like, "Your own worst enemy is yourself, and you're gonna be fine. Your future is set." And he tells me that a lot,
Exactly.
and so does my trainer. He tells me that a lot. Your future is set. So every time I go into a game, I'm already just calm because I know that all I have to do is just go out and play basketball. And that's something I've loved doing since I was a kid. So there's really no pressure at all. Like obviously there's pressure there, but I just have to keep reminding myself my future is good. I'm gonna be good no matter what. If I have one bad game, it's okay. So I just have to keep reminding myself with that.
100%. What do you think is something that we do differently than other places?
I feel like we, especially this Midwest, we get coached a lot harder than a lot of other teams would, especially in the summer. I mean, Coach Green and all of you guys, the staff, does a great job of coaching you hard. Um, I mean, they're not, if you do something wrong, they're not going to baby you. They're not going to tell you, "Oh no, it's the summer, so you don't have to do this." No, we're gonna keep the same mentality, and that's obviously what's great. Had us have a lot of success.
Yeah, I mean, and that takes me to the next part of where I was going with the original question is, you guys obviously are doing something different there. And Coach Rick Green is such a legend, not only just in West Virginia, but of all of high school basketball. I mean, that guy has I think his win percentage what 76%. It's
At
like
least, yeah.
so three out of every four games he's winning, which that's probably still not good enough for him, But at this end of the day, what is it like playing for somebody like that that is actually like preparing you for the college level?
Yeah, it's great. I wouldn't wanna have it any other way. He's a great coach, but he's he's not egotistical at all. Like, in practice, if me or one of my teammates have a question like, "Oh, why are we doing it this way?" He's not just gonna butt us off and be like, "No, we're doing it this way, no matter what." He might say that eventually if he knows that we're wrong, but he's gonna at least hear us out and try to understand what we're saying. So it's great, and he really coaches us hard no matter what. So he's really prepared us a lot for not only our games but for our future as well.
Damn, that's a hell of an answer right there from a kid. Wait, you just turned 16?
I turned 16 like a good bit ago.
Okay, so I mean,
October.
you're closer to still. I mean,
Yeah,
brother, you were born in 2010. You were born in the 10s. So like at the end of the day, that's crazy to me, dog.
yeah.
To hear that kind of response from you speaks on your maturity, and obviously you speak on humility. But I want to ask you, what is one thing about yourself that you wish you can change or you're trying to work on to better yourself, as not only a person but as a player?
I feel like one thing I could change is definitely my procrastination. I'm a heavy procrastinator when it comes to things in my life. I always put things off. I don't it's not necessarily in the basketball world, but kind of in my life. When I have something in front of me, I'll kind of push it off to the last day, which is I don't do that all the time, but it's definitely something I need to
But you
work
get it
on.
done though. You get it done though.
Yeah,
Don't
I definitely get it done at the end of the
I'm
day,
actually
but
proud.
if I could if I could attack that first and just like with like if I have homework or I have to study for a test, it's hard to, put everything together and fit everything in. So I can definitely work on that. That's probably my main thing.
Not like that. And really, this is my last question for you, brother. Obviously, you're going to a junior this year. You're going to be, an upperclassman. Still not the highest level you should get. You still have 2 more years left. When you're done at George Washington and it's all said and done, is it going to be all about winning the championships, or what's going to be something that you want to take with you for the rest of your life after playing for a culture like George Washington?
For something I want to take away is just honestly all the teams that we've had and just all of my friends, if I have to be completely honest. Because when I look at last year's team, I think of one of my favorite teams of all time that I've ever played with. When I look at my freshman year's team, I think the same exact thing. One of my favorite teams I've ever played with. So whenever I leave George Washington, I know that I'm gonna have brothers for life, no matter the circumstance. So that's honestly something I'll never take away, especially I mean, even though we're playing basketball, I mean, we're hanging out every day, no matter if it's basketball or not.
Yeah,
So I just know that whenever everything's said and done, not only with George Washington basketball, but basketball in general, college basketball, wherever I end up going, I know that I'll have brothers no matter what. So
yeah,
For
and,
sure.
and kind of before I give it back to Josh, like Coach Kelly Church from Hedgesville has a really good quote. He says, "Basketball is an excuse for just an excuse for relationships." Because then the ball stops bouncing for everybody. Brother, it doesn't matter how nice you are. You could be 20-time All NBA. You see
There
my
we
man
go.
Braun go. He's starting to break down. It's starting to be over for him. So eventually,
yeah,
it stops bouncing for everybody. But what leads to that by saying that's why Josh is my favorite teammate I ever had. I mean, I was a brother to me. I'm talking about we've been through anything and everything together, brother, and that's been the most solid individual in my life. If I know he's a goofball, he's kind of crazy sometimes. He does that weird stuff, but like that's somebody you gotta listen to if you really want to get to where you want to get to. I'm telling you, pick at his brain as much as possible. But I want to ask you one more thing though: is like, do you have any questions for me? Is there anything that you want to pick at my brain or pick at Josh's? Ask anything. I don't care.
I wanna ask y'all, what's your favorite part about doing the podcasting?
Being with Josh, man, that's my favorite part. I just love talking shit with Josh. I'll be real,
My
man. It's my
dog. Now, mine is definitely talking to all the different coaches because you can think like coming from playing to coaching, you can think you know basketball, you know X's and O's, you know these things, but there's a whole different avenue of leadership and things that you have to learn from a coaching lens. So since I haven't played in a long time, I've kind of switched the whole way that I see basketball to like a coaching lens. So I think just talking to all those guys and seeing how they do it, and the thing they always go back to, every single coach I've talked to, college coach, it goes back to relationships. And they're like,
it is.
you can coach however you want. There's a million ways to win games, but if you're not putting in the time and building relationships and being a good human, none of that stuff matters. So the relationships is definitely the best part, man, for sure.
Yeah, it's a bar. I'm telling you right now, basketball is just an excuse for relationships, but doesn't mean like I hate when people say, I don't know how you feel about this, brother, but this is me just basically getting my barbershop talk. I hate when people say it's not all about winning because I'd be damned, bro. Like, if I lost, I made me so mad. I feel like you're very similar in that way because you haven't lost much. you gotta hate losing more than you like to win. At least that's just my opinion.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, since honestly my South Hills days, shy ball, I've lost maybe less than a dozen games, maybe. Probably definitely less than 20 games since I've been in second
That's
grade
great.
All Stars.
Yeah.
So losing definitely sucks, and I mean, everyone wants to beat you. I mean,
Yeah.
since I was in second grade, or even first grade, everybody has wanted to beat South Hills, John Adams, George Washington. So getting up through that and just living through that, I mean, it just comes natural, especially the losses definitely hit hard, but the wins are also very, very
Yeah.
good, and it becomes like a routine. So
Go ahead, Josh.
All right, rapid fire, Dom. Let's go. Funniest teammate.
funniest teammate, oh, I'm gonna go Owen
Nice. Biggest trash talker on our team.
Caden,
Hardest player you've guarded in high school.
Crazy
Xander
poker.
Car- Xander Xander Carter from Ashland,
I'll give you that. He was tough. He's tough.
Favorite NBA player.
LeBron,
James, baby.
Favorite road gym. Favorite road gym to play at.
favorite road gym that we play at. Ooh, I'm gonna go the Rec.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good one. Even though it's a tough place
Pre-game
to play.
meal.
Pre-game meal, probably Gatorade, some pasta if it's super later in the night and I'm having like a meal that's like 2 hours before, I'll have some pasta. If I'm not, I'll probably just have like a protein bar or an energy bar.
Music before game.
Drake.
You're definitely a Jersey
All
guy.
right, this is my favorite one right here. What's your connection with Cedar Grove?
There, there's no connection with Cedar Grove.
Yes, there is. You played
I
there. You played against them, bro.
I played against Cedar Grove in 6th grade. My first ever varsity points. I
See?
hit 2 threes against them. That's my only
See?
connection.
There we go. You got ties. All right, let's see. All right, last one for me. Any advice to young players? Anybody that is watching this right now and they're like, I want to be where he's at when I'm in high school. What would you tell them?
I would say just stop overthinking, to be honest. That's honestly my biggest advice because whenever I was that age, I would look at, and also it's not so scary. That's something I would also say. Whenever I was a little kid, I look up on the banners, be like, I want to be all state. I want to be like that guy. I want to be like, because I looked up to Ben a lot, I'd be like, I want to be like Ben. And then whenever I got to where he was, same sophomore state champion, I realized it wasn't so scary. And all I had to do was just stop overthinking. And because whenever I was a kid, I'd be like, I'm scared to how am I going to get there? But if you just keep working and you just let everything just work out how it's supposed to, then you're going to be fine. And that's something I would definitely tell the younger generation. And also, if I had to tell my younger self something, it'd be that same thing.
The person putting, brother. I mean, you grinded there, dog. Like that's you see that you saw the All State banners, you see the championship banners, and of course you're going to be scared because you don't know what it takes. Nobody knows what it takes. All it takes though is the work and like
Mhm,
you consistently. I see your dad post you working every day. Like, well, I just woke up. I'm crawling out of bed. I'm built bowl of Cheerios, and you out here already got a full sweat. Like that's what it takes. And like again, man, you're a confident kid, but you're also humble. But I hope the next thing for you is like just take the mantle and run. Like don't look back. Like you have all the talent, all the gifts in the world, kid. You know, the sky's the limit. Like I don't say there's not many kids in this state that I think actually have Division I talent. Like, there's 3 guys in basketball right now. That's it, and you're one of the 3. So it's going to be whatever you put into it. Again, even if you go play the Division II JUCO, you know, you go play a year of prep, like whatever
mhm.
you do, just keep working because eventually the ultimate goal is you want to get paid by doing this, right? So you want
Yeah.
to get some money so you ain't got to pay no tuition back and you're
Mhm.
going to make some money for your future for lifetime financial freedom. So
He's gonna get college
that's
paid for. He got a 4.7, buddy. He's
yeah,
good to
I
go.
yeah, he ain't worried about he ain't gonna have no dollar attached to his
No,
name.
no.
Listen, for sure.
All right,
And Don, man, again, really appreciate you, brother. You're wise
yeah,
and
dog.
beyond your years. I want to say congratulations to both you and Josh for the 2026 West Virginia 4A state champions from George Washington High School, GW, The Hill. Beat my guys. Shout out to Kwesi and Poku and Champong, though. You know, I tell you what, that kid is phenomenal.
He
You
is.
know,
Yeah.
He is.
Chase,
No,
all
he
the
is.
guys. It was a phenomenal game. I went back and watched a couple days ago, and I tell you what, that in the second half, kid, you were the best player on the floor. So
Crazy game.
shout out to you, Dom. And again, That's Dom Sprouse Jr. from GW, George Washington High School. Make sure you guys tune in to him this year. Definitely a Bill Evans candidate, Gatorade Player of the Year candidate as well. So again, thank you, my brother. And from Josh and Drew, EPAN to UKV, thank you guys for tuning back in after 4 months. We're back. Subscribe, share all of our stuff. We're out.
That's just how I feel. Yeah. Yeah. That's just how